Hello, Easton, and welcome to the Rabbi's Roundtable. I'm Rabbi Peter Hyman, Rabbi at Temple B'nai Israel. And this is a rainy Thursday, but we have a great show. It's very interesting, lots of information for the community, and I'm glad we'll be able to present this to the community. My two guests sitting next to me, Marie Nuttall, coordinator for Plein.
Indeed.
And she's not your first time at the Rabbi's Roundtable.
No, it's not.
And sitting next to Marie is Sean Nuttall. They have the same last name because they're married.
They're married.
20 years.
And 20 years?
20 years.
Well, you
Well,
got married when you were 12?
You're so sweet.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
Don't I know it? Is it the story of my career? No, stop. Anyway, Sean is... among other things, project manager at the Avalon Theater here, and we are going to talk about a number of things as well. And I think, why don't we start, Sean, with the carnival that's coming up?
Okay, yeah, so we have the carnival again coming. Starts on Friday, June 24th.
Goes through...
runs through 4th of July.
Yep.
So every evening, from Friday till 4th of July, you can get wristbands. There are coupons available from various merchants
Yep.
and stores around town. So you can save $5 off the ticket price.
Is the Easton Economic Development Corporation, has that had any connection with this or no?
No, this is pretty much
This is just
an Avalon
This
thing.
is okay, just curious.
Yeah, we've been working with the Shaw family who runs the carnival.
Sure.
They're out of Severn,
Yeah.
just across the bridge. We've been dealing with them for many, many years with the carnival, and they're good folks.
And tell us what's happening in the carnival.
Well, obviously the rides, and there's food, and then on the 4th of July, we'll have the fireworks celebration, and there'll also be a concert. So Anna Burgess will be playing.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
Cool.
so I believe her show starts at 7, and it'll run up to approximately the time of the fireworks.
And if you take a left off of the bypass onto Oxford Road, St. Michael's Road,
Yep.
and you go up a half a mile or so, you can see it. It's all the trucks and all the. I saw it yesterday. I thought, oh, good, it's getting ready.
Yeah, it's right there by Target and
Yep.
and Harris Teeter.
Yeah. Anything you want the community to know more than that?
It's the same folks that we've been dealing with for many, many years, so it's very familiar, but they add new stuff every year.
Yes.
They bring new rides, and they bring new games and contests and stuff, so there's some fun stuff.
From my experience, they seem really decent and responsible and
Yeah, I mean, it's a family-run business,
Yeah.
so they're all involved.
Yep.
The dad and the adult children and the grandkids at this point. So they're good folks.
It's good. It's nice, and it's good for the community. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, that's the carnival. It starts Friday night, June 24th.
Yeah, it starts at 6 p.m. and then it runs till 10 most nights. 4th of July, it'll run through to 11.
Okay, very cool. And I'll see you there.
Okay.
At some point.
I will certainly be there.
I know. And Marie, let's talk a little bit about plein air and the power and the importance of plein air. Let's just start and we'll go through the whole thing.
Yes, so Plein Air Easton is a festival that we sponsor every July. It's a festival and a competition that brings in 58 artists from around the world are juried into the competition. They come into town on the prior to the 14th, and they have canvases. Their canvases are stamped with an official stamp, and then they go out into Talbot County and they'll paint for about 7 days, and then they turn in those stamped canvases to us for competition judging and prizes, thousands of dollars worth of prizes.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it's seriously important now.
Yes.
And
yes,
who are
it's
the
very
judges?
significant.
Can you?
The judge is, for every year that we have a juror that selects all the images, and that juror becomes the judge for the following year.
Okay.
So this year's judge is Julia Marcieri Alexander. I hope I didn't butcher that too badly. She is the executive CEO of Walter's Art Gallery in Baltimore.
I know it.
Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah.
Sure.
So she'll be reviewing all the competition pieces that are handed in. 58 artists. They get to submit 2 competition pieces. So there'll be, what's the math on that? And those will be on display in the Academy of Art Museum after the judging.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's not just a local event anymore. It's national and powerful and important.
Yeah, Plein Easton kind of sprung up out of a need for the movement to be on the East Coast, because it was predominantly, it kind of started taking shape on the West Coast. So this was the East Coast, and we used to have an East-West relationship with the folks out in California. Yeah. So, but our festival is the largest in the nation, and it is a competition, and there's also live exhibits all week long. There are demos featuring alumni artists. There are things to do, and it's really neat because we have sort of taken up the corner of Harrison and South Streets. So we'll be set up in the Waterfowl headquarters, and that will be the Plein Easton headquarters for the entire week, from the 17th all the way through the 24th. There'll be an exhibit that grows all through the week.
Wow.
And these are all paintings that are brand new, no one's ever, and some of them are even wet. So we have to be careful about them. We can't touch them. We have to ask a volunteer if we want to get a closer look at it. So it's really exciting. And a lot of the content is free. The admission to the exhibits is free, unless otherwise noted in our program guide.
Talking about free and all that, I think that makes a very positive statement for the community.
I do too.
That we allow whoever the we is, that they have said, this is important, the community should have access to this, and we do that at Temple we have a concert series every year, and it just allows us to bring people in, and people get entertained and motivated, and I think that's very wise on your part. No,
Absolutely.
very good.
I think the dividends pay,
Oh yeah.
100-fold down
more
the line.
More than that. There's no question about that.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
And let's talk a little bit before we conclude this segment. Let's talk about the farmers market.
Let's talk about the
I love it.
market.
I love it, and I'll tell you a story about it after. Go ahead.
Okay, great. The farmers market I manage, it runs from April through December.
Yep.
So it's every Saturday. It is in the 100 block of North Harrison Street. It is in a municipal lot that kind of wraps around and joins up with Washington Street.
Yep.
The hours are 8 to 1. There is a diverse bunch of vendors. Everybody is a producer or a crafter, excuse me, or an artisan, and they all have to be local small businesses to be able to participate in it. So I'm very proud of our very diverse mix of folks we have. We have prepared foods, and of course all the beautiful produce that is part of our agricultural component of Talbot County, and we have a lot of high-end artisans there as well.
Yes, and I have to tell you, I don't, because Saturdays I'm not always available to get there because of what I do, but every once in a while I get the chance to get, I may have a minute or two, and I get there, I get the garlic, the fresh garlic.
Ah.
I don't know who the farmer is. I go to the same stand. I should know by now, but I just don't remember. And it is unbelievable. The intensity, because I cook a lot. I like.
Yeah.
Please, but the fresh garlic is, along with the other produce. I'm not suggesting that's not the case either, but. Oh, it's just the best.
Yeah.
It's the best. And
there's no comparison
no.
between what you can get at the farmer's market that comes, directly from a field to your table, compared to things that you can get in the grocery store.
Right, and it's not that glad for the grocery stores, no
yeah,
question.
exactly.
But this just is, if you like to cook and you want fresh produce, that's the place to get it. That's wonderful.
Exactly.
It's wonderful. God, anyway. And you're right, the artisans are very talented and they produce interesting things.
Yes, yes. So, there's we have Lion Rum, we have a kombucha crafter
Yep.
who's making local kombucha, fresh cut flowers, basically everything for your table, and hostess gifts and, some things for you as well. So, it's really exceptional.
It's wonderful. Well, thank you for all that you both do. It's really exciting. Anything else you want to add, Sean?
I just would like to mention we have some street concerts coming up where we
Yes.
close off the street downtown Easton, and bands show up and play. People bring their little folding chairs and sit out. And,
do you have the dates?
Yeah, so June 25th, we've got Clones of Funk coming up. It's a 7 p.m. start. July 2nd, we have Naval Academy Blues and Gold.
They are terrific. Have you heard them before?
Yeah, all of the military bands, to be honest, all those guys have to audition, and so they're no slouches. They're top quality musicians.
I know. I have a couple of friends who are former military. They're professional musicians now. Doesn't get any better.
Yeah, they're tight.
Doesn't get any better. So that's very cool. When is that again?
So we've got the Naval Academy Band on July 2nd.
Okay.
And again, we have Anna Burgess at the Carnival on July 4th. And if folks go to avalonfoundation.org, they can see the full list of the calendar of events. We'll show all of the upcoming street concerts for the rest of the summer.
Perfect. Well, we have been talking with Marie and Sean Nuttall. Marie is coordinator for Plein.
And can I do my plug for my website?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Yes. So the entire schedule of events is available on our website, pleinareaston.com. And please take a look and see the wide range of activities we have going on from July 15th through the 24th.
I'm sure that we will be able to get the folk here at MCTV to put that up underneath.
Yes.
I'll see if I can make that happen.
Okay.
Pull some
Great.
strings.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I'll do my best. But as I started to say, Marie is coordinator for Plein. Sean is project manager here at the Avalon Theater, so I think that's a good in.
Yeah.
And thank you for being at the Rabbi's Roundtable.
Yeah.
We will have you back and we'll talk more. And let me know if you want to share any more information.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. And Easton, we will be back momentarily.
The Avalon Foundation and MCTV programming is proudly supported by Easton Hardware and Floor Covering. Since 1939, we're still there and we still care.
And we are back, Easton, and you are seated at the Rabbi's Roundtable again on this rainy Thursday, but the content of the show will make the rain not bother anybody because this is really interesting. And my next guest is Fred Hughes. Fred Hughes is a very well-known, exceptionally talented musician. No, I'm not saying anything that's not true for a lot of reasons. And some of you know that we've been having a concert series at Temple B'nai Israel, and last week Fred and his trio played. They were the opening act for this series of concerts, and glad you're here. We're not going to talk about that necessarily. We can, but we're really going to talk about a program that Fred had started, and it's been very successful over the years, called Jazz Alive. And thank you for being at the Rabbi's Roundtable.
Thank you
again,
for having
actually,
me.
my pleasure.
Thank you.
Do us a favor. Give us a little bit about your background, your education, and then we can go into Jazz Alive.
Okay. I've been a professional musician since I was 12. I was one of those kids who really wanted to play, and my dad was a weekend musician, and he was always playing. His band would be rehearsing, and so I was chomping at the bit to become a musician, but he didn't want to let me. It was like he's waiting until he knew I could really do it. So I hit the ground running, and I became a member of the Musicians Union in my hometown of Lancaster, Pennsylvania when I was 12.
Wow.
And been doing professional gigs since then, so we're almost 50 years now. Was in the military bands for about 13 years, including 7 years as the piano player for the Jazz Ambassadors, the Army's touring jazz ensemble.
Wow.
I've been here in Talbot County for about 11 years now. I got really involved in the Delmarva, especially Queen Anne and Caroline and Talbot and Dorchester counties through when I was a conductor for the Kent Island Community Band, which later became the Chesapeake Bay Community Band. Then I moved over here, been playing out of here all around,
Yeah.
and around 2019 we started Jazz Alive. And I started it because of traveling throughout the Delmarva. At the time I was doing adjudicating for the Eastern Shore Band Directors Association. So every year, middle schools and high schools, they go and they perform and they get adjudicated. And I was part of that. And as the band directors got to know me, they're like, "You're a jazz guy. There's not a lot of jazz happening here. Can you start doing something?" And then the person that really is responsible for this, and I've always held her to it, is Donna Ewing, because she said, "Fred, really, I really would." I said, "So if I start an organization, I want you to be." So she's been on the board of directors.
Terrific.
That's how we got started.
And I remember, I think the first time you came on the Rabbi's Roundtable, we talked about Jazz Alive and how important it is, and how transformative, and I'm not being gratuitous, transformative the work you have done.
Thank you.
No, I remember I started, as some of you know, I started marimba in first grade and started to do jazz, and at that time, jazz was looked at with, cross-eyed,
Right.
and askance. If it wasn't Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, or God knows who, it wasn't
That's true.
considered legitimate. And I remember playing in the jazz bands in junior high school and in high school, having people go, "It's jazz. It's not legit." Well, that was ignorant and prejudicial for a lot of reasons.
Yes.
And any musician who studies jazz knows you got to know theory. You got to know everything that everybody else knows. And I'll be quiet now.
So, I don't know if I told you this story the last time I was on, and if I did, I forgive me
It's
for
okay.
repeating, but there was a time when I was the pops piano player in the Baltimore Symphony, and this was during Yuri Tamarkanov's time at the Baltimore Symphony.
Oh, wow.
And when he was in town conducting, he loved to go to this jazz club, which was about 10 blocks away from the Meyerhoff Symphony Hall.
Yeah.
And my trio happened to be playing at this, and he would always, his entourage would be, like the concertmaster and all of that. And they would come and they'd sit and listen. And as I got to know them all, especially when I started playing pops in the pops concerts, one of the best things that he said, "You guys work harder than we ever do. To know the scales and know everything that you do." And I thought that was the best compliment for this music. that you could ever get.
Absolutely. And I tell people all the time, in improvisation, they sometimes refer to it as faking. There's nothing faking about it. Improvisation, to be good and to be substantial and substantive, you have to know theory, you have to know, be classically trained, not necessarily classical in terms of classical music.
Sure.
But you have to be trained. It's not just something you sit down and poof. Don't
As
get
Homer Simpson used to say, they're just making that stuff up.
Yeah, exactly. No. But if they're making it up, they're making it up based on a whole lot of knowledge.
Yes, sir.
I'll stop preaching.
Thank you for
now.
acknowledging.
Yes. Anyway, so talk to me a little bit and share with us what's happening with the Jazz Alive program. How's it going? Where it's
Well, as I believe I said the last time, because we were just coming out of the pandemic, we got started in 2019 and then all of a sudden shut down. So
well, everything.
we were able to do our summer concerts last year at the Waterfowl building in July, August, and September, and they went extremely well. And then in the fall and into the spring, we started doing going into schools. And so we've gone and worked with the Easton High School Jazz
Wonderful.
Ensemble. Currently, I'm working now, we're in our second week of 6 weeks of just beginning the vocabulary with Donna's middle school students.
Wonderful.
And so they're learning how to play the blues and how to do a chord and all that kind of stuff. So we've been and thankful to the organizations in the county, Midshore Community Foundation and Talbot Arts, for really helping us get that going, because I bring my trio and other musicians in, and it costs to bring these guys in. So
sure. Nobody needs to work for free.
Yeah, it's really, really great to be able to do that in Talbot County, and as we expand this, as COVID allows the teachers in the high schools and middle schools to be a little bit more bringing us in, we're hoping to move that throughout the Delmarva Peninsula. So,
COVID, as everybody knows, COVID's been such an aggravation, and we seem to be getting to the other side, thank God.
Thankfully, yeah.
No.
So then in March, April, and May, I decided, because I think I showed you last time that for our summer concert series, we bring in staging, lighting, all of that kind of stuff. But we wanted to do something a little different in the spring. So March, April, and May, we just used 3 lights and created this theater in the round type thing.
Oh, cool.
And pretty much brought the groups in as an unplugged type thing. So there was very little production. And that was really successful. We sold out the last 2 shows. And so now we're starting our summer concert series this Saturday, the 25th, with Larry McKenna from Philadelphia. July 30th, we have Joanna Pascal, great vocalist from Philadelphia.
Fabulous.
Yes,
She's terrific.
she is. She is a beautiful spirit. And then we close out the series on August 27th with a great organ trio. Pat Bianchi, who's the organist, is one of, I think a lot of people are considering him to be the next Jimmy Smith of the B3.
Really?
He's, nominated for several Grammys and all that. But the guitar player, whose group it really is the guitar player in the Navy Commodores. And he and I have been good friends for a long time. In fact, his wife was on our Jazz Tales show. She's the director of jazz studies at George Mason, and he's a professor there as well as being in the Commodores.
Wow.
And he said he was doing this new record with this Pat Bianchi on organ and Jason Tiemann, great drummer from New York City. And I said, can I get you guys to come to Easton? And he said, sure. So we made that happen. So a great series. Thank you for letting me talk about it.
Tell the dates again.
So since this will air in July, July 30th, Saturday, July 30th, 7 to 9 at the Waterfowl Building is Joanna Pascal. August 27th, 7 to 9 at the Waterfowl Building.
I'm trying to get to that one.
Is Sean Purcell on guitar, Pat Bianchi on organ, and Jason Tiemann on drums.
Again, just another example of how cool this little town is.
Easton is great.
And how sophisticated. And you add to that, and there's so many folk who add to it. And wow. One last question. How can our viewers help support your youth program? I think that's as we said the last time, that's why I had you on the first time. Knowing, as I said, the feelings about this and having jazz in our schools, what can we do? How can we help?
Well, I appreciate that you asking that. Unfortunately, it is money that makes it happen. So, we've got several different programs. If somebody wants to sponsor one of the concerts, that really helps, because then that allows more of the revenue from ticket sales to obviously go towards our
expenses.
So you can go to jazz-alive.org, and there's a donate page on there. You can call us at 202-999-8687 and talk to me personally, and we can work this out. But anyway.
Repeat the phone number again a little slower.
202-999-8687 and jazz-alive.org.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, as I said, and from both on camera and off camera, I think this is extremely important. Your work is educational and in many ways transformative, and I appreciate from several perspectives what you're doing. So, Fred, thank you very much.
Thank
for being
you
here.
for your support.
No,
we appreciate it, Rabbi. I appreciate it. Thank
my
you so
pleasure.
much.
We've been talking to Fred Hughes, who is director and impetus behind Jazz Alive. Great musician, important focus and source of music in our community. And you will be back at the Rabbi's Roundtable soon.
I look forward to it.
Me too. Easton, we will be back momentarily.
I got the shot, man, because I believe in the science.
I got vaccinated so I could hug my 5 kids and 14 grandkids.
We all got vaccinated
because we want to see you back in the theater.
Well, as a survivor of COVID, I really did it for other people.
I've also had the virus. I do not want it again.
We got COVID, and then they sent me to Johns Hopkins. Oh my gosh, it's the worst thing anyone could ever go through.
I genuinely feel like it's my patriotic duty to get vaccinated.
Do it for your state, do it for your country, do it for you.
I talk to my friends and family in India and Pakistan, and they don't have that access whatsoever.
I'm tired of Zoom. You're tired of Zoom.
It's my turn to take a chance.
Take advantage of that privilege.
Get the vaccine, please, for me, for your family.
And I got it because of what she said.
And we are back, and welcome again to the Rabbi's Roundtable. I'm Rabbi Peter Hyman, and we are coming to you from the basement of the Avalon Theater in the studios of MCTV. And before we conclude this segment, I just want to share with you one last note about the Susan and Barry Coe concert series that is going on at Temple. For those of you who know what date it is today, today is June 23rd, and next Wednesday will be the last of the 3 concerts, and we are going to be featuring a group called Sakole. They are musicians, jazz musicians, who play New Orleans jazz. So if you like New Orleans jazz, put it on your calendar. Please come. There are no tickets, no charge. We welcome the community. And the only thing you have to bring are beignets. No, I was just being a wise guy. Beignets, as you know, are the donuts that you can get in New Orleans. But the music has been fabulous. You just heard from Fred Hughes, whose trio played the first concert, and we had Paul Carr and his group of musicians play last night on the 22nd of June. And as I said, the last concert will be this coming Wednesday at Temple. If you have questions or you want to know more about it, please feel free to call the Temple office, speak to me or anybody who's available, and we'll let you know. But the program has just been fabulous, uplifting, and wonderful. Other than that, I think that concludes all that I want to talk about on this segment of the Rabbi's Roundtable. Appreciate your viewing and your listening and your watching, and we'll see you next time on the Rabbi's Roundtable.